Hello, everybody. We're here. Let me show my beautiful face. Here for a little something different. Wednesday, we usually paint and stuff. I'm not feeling it for a while, but we're gonna do some other stuff. We're gonna use this time for world building, using the World Builder's Guidebook from AD&D 2nd edition. I gotta put my phone somewhere. And the help of Worldographer, which I'll walk you guys through real quick. We're just gonna be out here. Love for you. I don't even know what that song's from. That's crazy. It got me. So yeah, I'm gonna take off the camera. There's not really no reefs in here. We're gonna be going through this. We're gonna be making maps, a world map for my fantasy game I've been like developing, RPG. I was like, you know, I want a long-term game. I want some system. I got the system I want. I'm working through everything, building it up brick by brick. We're gonna go through this. I found a nice app, Worldographer. Let me show Worldographer real quick. That's not it. Top. So, you know, this is a nice little tool for making hex maps or any kind of maps you need, dungeons. You know, just go through. It doesn't catch that. Yeah. It does say it? Shit, it never changed. Do this. I forgot to change that. Thank you for checking that out. So here's a nice little thing. I can train water. So I actually put all of this land in the wrong place. So I could just, you know, make everything blank. Where is it? Or is it empty? Where's that terrain option? Oh, I'm doing a good job selling this. Anyway, it's a nice little program. That's what I want to show. So I'm just gonna generate like a random map real quick. And just gonna go through the seeds. So right there, you can just make a nice, powerful map from this game, from this app, not a game. A real basic. Scroll down into higher levels of detail. So now you're down to like a smaller hex level for detail. And it can do everything. It can auto-generate your cities, your kingdoms. But I don't want to do that. I want to incorporate... I don't want that, so we can close that. I want to incorporate the AD&D Dungeon Master... Not Dungeon Master. Second edition World Builder's Guidebook. Build the game... Build the world from scratch. Make sure I am in water layer. Terrain fill. Water ocean. And then, alright. Just making sure my layers are right. So we're going to be using the World Guidebook along with Worldographer. And because there's some parts where I'm just going to be just sketching, I have a... What's it called? A little OneNote thing. I'm gonna be drawing on my tab. This is the only way I can make it work. Was I'm drawing on my surface, and to show that here without like setting up a capture, I just show the OneDrive updating because you know I'm smart. So we're gonna do that and chill through, read the book, have some fun. I'm gonna start the music now though. It's a little dry. A lot of this will just be drawing stuff. Let's start going through the book. I've read through some few times, made some maps. Not on this computer though, so I don't have them. But they look good. Trust me. One of them I did like in real paper, so it's drawn out. And I can't find it actually. What happened to it? I had it somewhere. Maybe I threw it out. I'm going through the World Builder's book. So yeah, you go through approaches. This can start you with like you have absolutely no idea. Like, oh, what kind of game do I want to run? This like, do I want a place of interest? Do I want to be an Arabian setting? I'm doing a whole world, so I don't need to worry about cultures and stuff like that. Individual. So we'll do that. Then we do stuff like planetology. So this stuff I have already done. More fantasy, because it's D&D, but like any fantasy setting. But Worldographer, you can make anything. You want to make a real life setting, you can do that. Historical. So that's like, it's a good mapper, just any general. So I already, let me open up the thing. I've already gone through a lot of this early setup. So, you know, if you don't have an idea, or you do have an idea, you can just roll, like, what kind of shape planet do I have? Am I a weirdo? Do I want a super advanced disc world? Do I want it to be a sphere? Am I a flat earther? All my options are here. Or polygon. I kept it simple. I want a sphere. Then you determine your world size, which affects your hex sizes, which I had to do math to figure out the size for like what I need. So I think I'm at an 8,000 mile diameter for the planetary. So I had to work my way up from what a size of a hex looks like. So if a region map is 100 miles, it's the kingdom size I had to do, which is even shorter. I had to go to like another table. Determine the kingdom size. So that's that many hexes across the entire map. Then I have to divide that for the scale to get to the region map. Then divide that. So it's 41 hexes wide on the world map. A lot of maths. Got water. I want 60%. And yeah, so now we're just going to go fill stuff up. I have a distribution chart so I have to go through. Based off these numbers, I have certain regions I need to do. So I'm just going to roll these off. It's out of 20. I have to have 2 regions that are fully water, so like full oceans. 4 that are minor islands. Let me write these down as notes. Ew. So I should put this notes next to what I'm doing. But it's alright. Five land, 4 and nature C, 3, and then land minor is 2. All right, so now we can go to the page we can actually do our work. Thinking, well, this is like a thing we'll be doing for a while, in and out. I might be able to finish the world level, but then like each region is going to take its own time. So first, we're going to start by rolling off. So I have 20 regions. And so I got to fill them up. Let me get this thing over here as well. Sorry, why don't you move? There we go. So 14 is our first water. 14. I'm just going to mark them off. There's major there. And then we're going to do our second water, 13. All right, so both of this have a big ocean in the middle. We do water minor. Minor islands. That's a 9. So we got 4 of these. 19. Yeah, it is showing. It might be small text, but you can see what I'm doing. And 3 water minor. So, very heavy water in these areas. Actually, I don't want to have these two. I want to have 2 big bodies of water separate. 10. Do water right here. Just right in the middle. Makes sense. There's a lot of minor areas. So now I do 5 of water major lands. This is areas where it's like 50-50 water. Well, it's almost like, there's a quarter of land. So obviously, yeah. Six. Nine, that's a repeat. 1 repeat. So we're getting to the repeat section. If I kept track, I could just use a smaller die, but I won't. Major. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need our 5th one. 6. Is that free? No, it's not. That was already picked. Here's a fun part. I need to just start going up to the next one. So do this one, water major. So whatever I roll, I'll just go to next. If it's a kind of man, I'd also set up like roll 20 or something so you can see the dice rollers. But I'm not smart nor kind. So that's 1, 2, 2, 3, 5. So water major's done. Doing water land. This is 50/50s. 19. So that'll be over here. Water land. 4 takes us to water land. 18. 17. And so now here we're going with land major C. There's be more predominantly land. 18. And major C. 14. C. And now some minor C's. I might have miscounted on something. I have 3 spots left. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 60%. 4, 5, 4. Is it water major I'm missing? Major 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2. And I got water land. Land major. Yeah, I'm missing land major. That's why I messed up. I almost jumped the gun. 15. So land major. And then we have land minor here. Alright, so that section is done. And just to confirm with the distribution, see the different things. So water, obviously, it's like we're here in your oceans, minor islands, Central Pacific. There's a lot of, or Caribbean Sea. There might be one big island, but nothing big. Major islands. This is where we're getting big coastlines, big Australias, Greenlands. Not even that big. We can get like Madagascar. Water land. Region is about half land, half water. Nice 50/50 coastlines. Mediterranean, perfect example. Major seas. So we're going to have big inland seas, Great Lake shores, Dead Sea, minor lakes, big rivers, continental United States is everywhere here. And land only. We're looking at dry land. North Africa, Central Asia. So now we have this. I need to determine how many continents and coastlines I have. So how many land regions I have. Let's double check. I have it on this stats page, I believe. So I need 1d6 continents. 3 continents. And I think looking at it, major continents, I gotta try to map the major continents where they're gonna be and see where they are. And yeah, I think I can really only do like 3. Maybe. We'll see. You know, these are all suggestions if you really think about it. And so it's a D8 in size. Well, they should be 1 to 8 regions large. We'll see. They're pretty large continents is what we're looking at. So going back, I'm just gonna start. I wanted the image. Doesn't matter. I can just insert the image again. I can't. Okay. On. Having some problems. Getting the map up. We just gotta get that back and we'll be good. There's another map for reference. I'm gonna draw this one. So again, we're looking at major waterland. Let's say that runs. There. So that's continent 1. See continent 2, that's another large one. Where is there land and water? 50-50. So water, major land. So I'm just like sketching. This shit is garbage. No thoughts. Because also, you see, I'm doing like very rough. We're starting with hexes. They're not gonna look that nice. There is a coastline option that I'll do afterwards. Something like this. That, and I think we'll start there. And we're gonna erase stuff to make up like, little spots in there too. This is another land major C, so we can actually connect these two together. Like a C in there. So actually, no, this is land minor, so there should be more land. Touch that barely. And again, I'm not being exact with it. Nothing's exact with planets. It's all about feeling what I think is a good stop off, pop off. Filling spaces. It's like this needs actually more water. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to first tear it off here. Thinner. Because you have to think of like this dead space. These parts got to connect whatever's next to it. It folds to make a D20. That's what this shape is. It's an unfolded D20. An icosahedral, words. Yeah. I just want to show also, back on the book. It's like this is where like a distribution looks like. Oh, all land at the bottom. This is a very like 40% water world. This is drier. A lot more lands than I have. That's their example world. And then here they are like, actually sketching it out. So, you can see like what a land minor lakes looks like. They still have like a big coastline, but lake here versus water major islands. It's an inland sea. Alright, so we got this shaping up. Border here. If I want to link to the other side, I don't really need the border there. I'm using a lot of space off the page here. It's not going to actually be that big, but let's keep in mind that. Just, something here. Something there. just gonna farm it down. Just draw it out. Even. Just divide this again. Like a big island. Broke off. Now the fun part. We just gotta now go to World Builder. Fill it in. That's how we get a feel of our world. I have 3, maybe a bit more actually. I think I have more of like 5 major continents. But these top ones are actually much smaller, so they're more like islands. So, we just go in. So now we're gonna switch over to Worldographer. At the top. I'm just gonna start filling in what I think is the best spots. So terrain, land. Just gonna fill it all with beach. Put like a nice little island right there. It's probably not gonna be as perfect as what I think it looks like. The first time I did this, I actually just did it all on tablet. So I was out here using the pen to draw stuff in as well. I was out here feeling like an artiste. I can just outline it. I can do the fill tool afterwards, to be honest. Terrain. Ah! Never mind, we can't do it. It did everything. I wanted wide tool. This whole thing gets to fill up this cell. So I can see a lot of dead space feels down here in the bottom of 19, bottom of 20. So we can add some islands there. I mean, it's funny thinking of adding a lot of space to this. Because if you compare this to like Earth, That's 80. That's 75% water. There is so much dead space on Earth. Earth looks so uninteresting. And you look at all like the forms of the supercontinents, Pangea, all that stuff. So uninteresting on a design scale. It's all we know. So we have 18. This is a big one. Southern continent. Before I forget, I want to get the water in there. Separation. So boom, a large inland sea right here. Go back to that. We don't want to be the labels. We want to be in terrain land. So I gotta throw some lakes in here. These are featureless. Needs to be a little bit more drinking water. Like half of that coastline up here. That. Instead, just want to switch that with water. Thin you out. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Now we're back to terrain water. Next up here. I'll be barely some separation between these areas. Let's compare more to the map. Ooh. Scroll down on this so it's more in view. The artistes. I got my islands in the middle. Some waterways. 19. I think I want some minor islands here. On 19. So we're just gonna something. I still need a lot more land here. Extend this out. But now on the opposite, I need my minor lakes. I'm missing a lot of lakes in these areas. So we're gonna do terrain water. Sea. Some minor or it's actually a minor area, so that's too much. Let's do something like this. Eight's another land with minor. You only have big lakes here. You can have a big lake. It freezes up here. That'll cause issues. Water, minor. Sure. Might even just make that into ocean water up here. That'll permeate into that. You can have ocean water in to some seawater. You can have basically two water systems go through 17. Your C16s, I think, fills that water here, so massive lake, massive inland seas. This area needs more water, actually. I'm gonna do this. We make that a small island. Shape it. You know, carve this up to fit more water, less water. Because it might be actually too much land for the water I'm saying. Which is why we throw in a lot more lakes. Lake Skitty Mudaba. And again, these are like massive bodies of water we'd see from space. This isn't like your Hudson Valley rivers systems. This is the spread out from space view. I'd like to see. Yeah. Just want to see how it looks like without different parts, without land, without water. That's a lot of water. That's the important thing. I turn off land, I still see a lot more water. If you know we flip, there's that whole if you were to flip the water on Earth and land proportions. It's a lot of water. So now, what's next on the chopping? Let me get saving. Actually, what is it? Control Shift S. I don't know why they have it as Control Shift S. Are they too good for Control S? Let's check back on this. So, you know, coastlines, American where the land stops and water begins. Mountainous, hilly, flat. We kind of don't really worry about that. The coastline generator will do that for us. So now we do seismology. My favorite part, my favorite drawing section. So let's go through. In our world, continents are not static. Great land masses reside on crusts. This was written like the 90s. You know, every day we find more fun stuff about it. Like, there's just floating mantle in the middle of the, floating cores in the middle of the mantle. They just affect magnetism all over the world. It's just hard, dense sections in what we thought was just all fluid. It's crazy. It's a marble. Here we go. We do plate tectonics, a fun side. Typical Earth size, we're a bit larger than Earth. This is 44 plates, each spanning 1d6 regions on the world map. From out of regions, simply count the balance in a single region plates. The last plate receives the rest of the unallocated regions. Take a look at the accounts. So this is a lot of trial and error, in my opinion. Doing this part. Persevere. For those, really. We'll say there's 3 continents. I'm looking at like maybe 4. 2, 3. I feel like that top area can be a 4th, but we can make it part of the other 3. But now we do the plate tectonics. Again, I have 44. I actually only have 2d4, so I have to add them together. 4, 8. That's first 2. 8 plus 3. Yeah. So now we gotta do plate 1. So they're all gonna be about a d6 in how many regions they span. This will change as I find I don't have enough space for one or another. Each one is a D6 in size. There's a fiver. That's a big one. Four. 3. 3. Get some twos. Let's get some twos in there. A 5. And a 2. A 6. Ooh. That's a big one. That's a world spanner right there. A 2. 4. And a 2. And last but not least, 11. That's a 6. So we have a lot of big plates. They're going to cover a lot of land. Let me just export map. Alright, so we got that exported. That's it. Maybe if I turn this off real quick. Because it wasn't letting me opening windows. There it goes. I was having problems with capturing. Alright, so now we gotta set plate tectonics. We do that, and then we go on to making mountain ranges. So, for example, here's where theirs going. They're looking for like some yellow areas to make up plates. Actually, no, I did have the test. I had a test one over here. So here's the crazy stuff I had to go through. Mountain ranges, plate tectonics. It was fun drawing system. Figuring out what's next to what. So we're gonna do that now. Again, we're back on the surface. Not load right. Why is it so small? Looks like I'm having sync errors. try closing both of these OneNotes. They're not syncing with each other right now. Okay, task manager's cool. See. Is the stream still up? Alright, looks like it's still up. It should be catching now. Alright, good. It's catching now. First thing we're gonna do, set a color. Plates. Nice brown. So undo. Copy this. Here. So I can see which plates I'm doing. So we'll start with number 1. Has to go through 5 regions. Let's see what. Let's see, I already see it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I went one over. 2, 3, 4. I didn't even go into that far. That's 5 regions it's hitting. Just a little bean in the middle. Number 4. Also hit that. Sneer's partner. 2, 3, 4. I go over into the white space just so I'm better aware of who's next to what. There's a 3 blocker right here. Try to rub against each other. Because they don't just exist in space. They have to groove and move and groove. So 3 here. Got 4. 2 right here. Number U. And this is a part that doesn't really require as much Worldographer, so we're going to make you bigger. Because this is where all the fun is right now. Making beans. Ooh, actually, you're only 3, so you need to be shorter. You need to be cut off like. There's 3. Yeah, here. Specifically is not going into region 11. 10. It's touching into here. Just cut here. Because real problems happen between where 2 regions meet. I was behind. You're not a region. I'm stupid. You're 5. 5, so we can do 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2. Can actually hit much larger than I thought. Making my beans. So that is 5. 2 blocker. Easy, right here. That's 6. Here's a big one. 6 blocks. 2. 5, 6. That's 7. Let's overextend a bit so it touches 2. This is number 8. 4. This is number 9. So someone needs to lose here. So this is 10. Can I get an 11? I think 11's just going to be here. Like that. Some space off you, make 11 proper. See plate lines. And else we do is we're just gonna any spot that kind of missed it, we're just gonna make sure you're under it. You're under the jurisdiction of someone. No loose plates here. Well, cut here. I want them to hit this mountain range. This island. I'd love for there to be a depression at 19 or something. And that's just something we're just gonna add in, you know. One thing, unfortunately, this doesn't account for is the idea of glaciers, and glaciers allow for the wildest changes to terrain. There's absolute cuckoo works. Now we have 11 slots filled out. We're on the next page of size model. Plate movements. You gotta determine whether they're going against each other or towards each other. That's gonna give us different results. Gotta go even thin. So what do I have to roll? A D100. They're 10. Tales of Series. So how it works is, for every plate, I roll a D100 to see what it's like next to another area. That'll then determine whether I'm getting a mountain range or a rift system. I should color code these. What was my old color coding? Just gonna copy this over from my old one. I need the mouse. I also need a light stretch. So scroll down a little bit. So yes, we have mountains and rifts. And if you actually look at the thing, depending on how many lines it is whether it's a high mountain system or low mountain system. Let's go mountain building. So we're just going to do them in order. So 1 to 2 is 84 towards medium mountains. Okay. One and 3 is an 8. That's away from each other. And low mountains. One and 5. 96. That's towards high mountains. One interacts with 9. 65. Alongside travel. That should give me another set of medium mountains actually. And 11. 55. Another alongside. So now we can go about making mountains. So first 1 and 2, 84. Those are high mountains. So we have a high mountain system here. Just running it. Just have it running over there as well. Whereas number 3, I think that was a low mountain system. It's an 8. Yeah, it's a low mountain system, so you know. There's something going on. That instead. So we might see mountains on either side. 96. It's very high mountains again. Oh, 84. This should have been medium mountains, so we'll just drop one off. It's not that bad. But this right here is a very active region. Five was low mountains, if I remember. Low mountains. Natural mountain ranges all over. And so we're just going to repeat this for every area. Just differentiate wherever there's a mountains. And if there aren't rounds, there's a rift system. So that's where continents are pulling apart. Get some deep areas. Or we have trench systems. One goes underneath it. Either way, they're just low-lying areas. A lot of like trench systems will be like underwater. This is where you get like you're just natural valleys. There's like Oh, why is this place below sea level in the middle of the land? Well, they're leaving each other. There's a divorce going on. Mommy and daddy don't love each other no more. So now we do 2 on 8. That is a 6 away from each other. So 6. 2 on 9. It's 58. It's another alongside situation. So I know you're already rotating this way, so you're going to rotate this way. And who else? Just make sure I remember as well. These areas are still connected. And 11. A hard 2. No mountains going away from each other. So they don't fuck with each other no more. They don't fuck no more. Which actually good, you know, we see 2 areas that are separating it. So plate 2 is going eastwards. If you want to say that. But let's start with our 8 was 06 system. Say we can do here. Some little mountains here. 58 is a medium mountain system. Why is there mountains right there? There's gonna be underwater ones. These are just the peaks. If we have volcanoes, I'd say they're on the land spot portion. I actually care about underwater mountain ranges, so I'll do that. So now we'll go to 3. That's just the order I want to do stuff. So 3 and 4. 49 alongside low mountains. Do I have any? No. Just gonna say you take this way. 3 and 5. 8. Going away from 5. I'm blocking the table. That's. There we go. We'll make use of space. There's dead space, there's dead space. Cool, made that work. So where am I at? I have 8 for 5. It has 8 with 1, which is funny. So 49 gives me another low mountain. And 8 gives me a low mountain here. We really have more of an underwater mountain range. I'd say it's a continuation of this. This side of the plate. Oh, that's also at 11. 7. That's just nothing again. From each other. Get a little action here. A little action is coming on the coastline. Very, you know, maybe some choppy waters here. There's a lot of mountain ranges, so it could be very rough waters. Because of the underwater currents. Then that we're going to go to 4. 4 now needs to do 8 and 11. And its relationship with 765. So there's a lot that he has relationship with. We'll just start on this side. I can't have relationship. I'm gonna cut this. Oh, if that is a fact, then 7 actually has a relationship with 3. So we can do 7. 7 here. Let's finish 7 3. 36. We get no mountains, so nothing. Now we'll do set 4 and 7. I should be 4 and 6 actually, so 26. So at 26, I get away from each other. Rift system. Uh-oh. Depression. Let's keep doing. 4 and 7 is 73. Ooh, that's a trench system towards. Let's just say over. It's 10. About to do 8. Is 45. Bordering pounds. So 45 will give me low mountains. So now I do 4 and 10. That's 11. Away from each other. Just in the boarding. And now 11 to the east. 69. Nice numbers. That gets us towards. See this area just dying. Alright. So first we'll do our mountain systems. So 45 is the mountain system. Kind of lost track. 6. think 6 was like 20s. Is that a rift? That a rift? Wait, say there's a rift here. Wrench. Yeah. Now we go back to mountains. I understand mountains. 45. Low mountains here. $69. That's a trench system. Ten was 11. That's low mountains. Man, what a falling nation. This area is sinking fast. Good lord. What's that gonna do? What kind of economic problems are you gonna have? So now we're on to 5. This nice little center island chains. Our Greenland. 89 with, I'm sorry, I should have picked, so it'll be with 7. That gives us towards medium mountains. And then 9s to the south. 15 away, low mountains. That's nice and simple. So it's 89 was medium mountains. I like that idea. Mountain range. That's 5. 5 was nice and easy. 6, we have to connect it to 8, 10, 9, 7. So let's do 7 first. Very small connection to it. Actually, I'll say it's not even connected to 7. I say that is just 10. So do 8 first. 5. Away, no mountains. Its connection to 9. It's 51. It's alongside low mountains, yes. 51. Its connection to 10. 43. alongside low mountains. So that's 6. 7, that's a big one right there. So 7 and 3 is done. What does 7 need? It needs 10 and 9. 61. That gives us alongside medium. And then 10. Is a clean 20. And that gives us again alongside. It's a fun fact. Got 3. Oh my god, these bots. These view bots have been strong again. See me in back. See, they want this. So 61. Those medium mountains. This is the outside. And 20 gives me low, correct? Yeah. Mountain range still here. So this is just a very, very mountainous coastline. Basically cliff face. It's all a 7. So anything else for 8? 8 needs its relationship with 11. It's a 78. That's towards trench. There is a trench system going around. Where you'll be when the Marianas Trench attacks. It's 11. That's 8. 8 should be all good. It has its connection with 6. 9 has its connection with everyone. Does not touch 10. 10 has everyone. So that's it. We're done with the seismography. The seismology. So now we know how our earthquakes and stuff work. We do mountains. So our next step is volcanic activity. So based off where it is, it'll have volcanoes. And that's basically... don't freeze on me. It froze on me. Wherever we have mountains, I believe. All right, so wherever we have rifts, medium mountains, and high mountains, we have volcanic activity. Wherever we have we'll get to earthquakes afterwards. So now we're on table 9, tables of volcanic activity. So we gotta go to this other section I have. I didn't get mountain the last time. So we'll do volcanoes. Like that. This is geysers. No. This will be hot springs for geysers, hot springs. Extinct volcano. Active. No, that's it. That was it. So that's our 3 volcano types. And sparse numerous is just how many I put on the area. So wherever we see medium, we see rifts, mediums, and high mountains. That's where we have volcanic activity. So we're going to start with 1. It has some spots with 2. That's another percentile roll. So I'm going to do 2 spots for 2. 81. Dormant volcanoes. Numerous. Second spot. We actually 81. They were dormant, so I should color them in. 89. This is active sparse. It's right there. It's perfect. It's on that island. So it's a heavy mount volcano. So now we're doing the 1 in 5 area. 48. Sparse extinct volcanoes. Okay. Some underwater ones. But they're spread out. Numerous. I want them like on top of each other. Just so we know this is a volcanic active area. Anything can happen. Let's see our next section of medium. We'll look over where 5 and 7 meet. 73. That's dormant sparse. There's a mountain. I'm gonna do this section of 9 to 7. 28. We got geysers. We got this lake. Maybe it's a boiling lake. Maybe, hot spring area. Hot spring town. Let's go. Lower section. 90. Oh, yeah, 49. What's that? Extinct, sparse. It's a dead range. Between 4 and 6. Actually, looking more mountains. I'll do mountains first. All right, 9 and 2. 47. We got another extinct. But over here by region 18, 53. Got numerous extinct over here. This place was more active. This other area in the water, 25. Nothing. All right, perfect. These trench systems are crazy over here. So we have this rift system. What are we getting here on 4 and 6? 77. Numerous dormant volcanoes. My God, anything could happen here. All right. So yeah, so that's how my key was for volcanoes. And now we gotta do earthquakes. What constitutes an earthquake here? So anything to anytime when we're going alongside and travels, okay. Gotta make a new key. Quake. So there's two things. I have to do the frequency and the strength. So we're gonna do strength first. For mild. More dark green. Now these greens, I can barely tell the difference. Let's hope we don't have too much. And now we have frequency. Common. I had a key for this one before. Let me see what I have for that. Yeah. So we'll do lines here. That's how I can do it. You know, let's do upside down. That's it. That's our earthquake key. It's unintuitive. I hope I don't have to do much with earthquakes. I don't like earthquakes. But it's anywhere that the plates are moving alongside each other. So starting with 1. Got 1 and 9. That's an earthquake area. There's volcanoes, active volcanoes there. 95. Strong, uncommon Go around this area. That's what I want you to do. An 11. 77. What does that give me? Moderate uncommon. Two. Does that rotate with any? That rotates with 9. 80. Moderate common. So I also got to do over here. $3D. Pass through anyone. 4 and 7. So I need 4 sections. You're on a 2. Mild is rare. With 7. 90? Strong and rare. Let's see what we got. It's going around each other. 4. You rubbing cheeks with 8. It's a 76. Moderate common. It looks like a bunch of nonsense, if to be honest with you. Once you get into the earthquake phase, and a lot of this does not matter at all for the Worldographer. I don't need the mountains and volcanoes section, but I like getting a little extra. I like having this information in the back of my head. Okay, let's go to 5. Who are you rubbing with? You ain't rubbing cheeks with no one new. Right, 6. Who you rubbing up with? All right, you're rubbing up with 9 and 10. 51. Moderate rare. Gotta change my key on the fly. And 10, 61. Moderate rare. If it happens, it's gonna hit. 7 has to deal with 9. 92. The strong rare. Another area. I forgot. I'm trying to do it like on the mountain ranges itself. If there's there. 2. It's a very stable area. Mild rare. Geysers, man. This is a protected domicile. I'm gonna put dwarves there. Dwarves have earthworks that just like have this area set. They're making use of this water. Now it's 7. 55. I mean 10. 55. It's moderate. Rare. I think that'll cover side by sides. Yeah. So that should cover up all of our seismology. All that commence. Read optional mount placements. That's important. I'm just gonna add some stuff as I see fit throughout the mapping process. So these are just like regionally here, but like, you know, glacier mountains or features I'll just add when I'm at the next level. Last step, we gotta get the climate. Climate, I'm just gonna do something real quick. Layers. The region map. The climate bands. I actually want the regions. It'll let me better divide. So I want to export this image. And again, I have to turn off OneNote for me to show this part. This is a quick section to finish off with. So pictures, file. All right. All right, back again. And all right, there, it works right this time. So here we have a very important section, the climate. We're not doing anything extra about this planet. It's not gonna have wildly creative like weather patterns. It's gonna be very Earth-like. So if you wanted to make Dune, you can make yourself hot or Inferno. If you want to make an ice world, cold or frozen. What this means is that you have a lot less inhabitable land for free. You have a lot more of this place is covered in ice. I need strong ice races and stuff like that. It's an Ice Age world. You can do that. But yeah, I'm just getting to put in the labels for the areas. There's a line tool. That's a good line tool. Approximate. This is tedious. This is just to make sure I see the lines. So we have our climate regions. We have our Arctic. We have mirroring for both sides of the planet. Subarctic. So I have a lot of land up here, but it's probably gonna be hard to live here. This is like we get northern Canada, so you know, cold winters. Norway's cold long winters. Actually, there's a pretty decent population base over there. But, you know, temperate, subtropical, which should have our most population. We got sensors. Here we have tropical. I just want to get this out here. This red line's our equator. Go back to subtropical. Temperate. Subarctic. So I can like ice up northern areas. That's Arctic. Frozen lands. Or southern poles, I should say. Also, north and south. Polar areas. So now we got to do our wind patterns and our ocean patterns. So, you know, these are just a quick thing. So the Earth's rotation in conjugation with the seasonal variation in the amount of solar energy absorbed in the hemisphere is the driving force behind the weather's patterns. Winds and ocean currents in the northern hemisphere tend to circulate clockwise, while winds and ocean currents in the southern hemisphere go counterclockwise. That's why the toilets flush different ways from here in Australia. Because the Earth's built that way. It's spinning. So examine each ocean. If a body of water is north of the equator, draw a current circling the ocean clockwise. So this is, you know, just a fun little exercise in drawing circles. So again, I'm just going to get like an orange. What's that word I'm looking for? I wanted to purples. Ocean currents. And then this is prevailing winds. Nice complementary colors that are actually very similar to the areas I'm putting them on. So it's a stupid case of futileness, but what do you gotta do? So yeah, we're going first with prevailing winds, ocean currents. So clockwise here. Where there's bad ocean currents, that's going to explain why people can't really travel those areas really easily. No, you need to do it for there. But now we gotta do the upper side. Easy. Just a little bit of coloring. Now I do prevailing winds. What's the rules on prevailing winds, everybody? So it's underneath the text. Wind patterns, generally oceans and very large land masses, such as Eurasia, support huge pressure cells of air. These cells generate the Earth's weather patterns. The prevailing winds spin out these pressure cells again and again, following a clockwise motion northern and southern. This is a gross generalization. It's good enough for you to create some realistic-looking wind patterns for your world campaign. Naturally, wind patterns will govern local weather by bringing moist air from the seas over the land, creating tropical monsoons and cyclones, and otherwise driving the weather system. So it's going to be a bit weirder, harder. You know? You know what? That's a terrible color. Need a more. These. So now we have weather patterns. Again, this is a very minimal section, but it comes helpful when running your campaign and you're considering weather. And this is a flat land world. There are notions of mountain ranges right now, but we don't actually know where they are. We're still working from the tectonics. We're going to build up mountains from there, add them, slot them in. So that's what we're going to do next. It's basically from here we have everything simplified. Let me go to another there. So, you know, that's here right now is our currents, very plain. Here's the real fun parts. This is where we're gonna do a lot of the geography setting, the mountain ranges, and from there we can develop everything else. And I think we should be low on the actual drawing at this point. I was like, where'd Worldographer go? You know, we'll be doing our regions, our polar regions next. After here, so next time we come back, we're gonna start working on some regions. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking what used to be. I gotta turn off like the whatever it is saying in Worldographer to see what it is. Terrain land. Thinking region 13 or 8. 8 might be a good area to start. 8 looks like a good central area where we have a lot of people. So I think is that 7, 8 area. Basically plate 7. That's what we're gonna work on. Oh, it does see my mouse. So yeah, this area is where we're gonna really work on next time we're doing regionals. Speaking of regionals, let's look at what that entails. So that's the second chapter. That was the second chapter, was worldography. My shit's crashing, I'm sorry. PDFs, it's the hard drive they're on. It freezes a lot. I have a lot of problems with my file explorer right now just because of not enough space, so there's not enough caching. But here's the third chapter, continents and geography. So this is where I go for individual continents, get a deep view. This book can also be read both ways, so you can either start from like a dungeon up or from the world down to a dungeon. So we're going from the world down to a dungeon. for building. We have our continents, geography. So we have our base lines there. We're going to zoom in somewhere. And from there, build up. We're going to add the terrain, high mountains, medium mountains, stuff like that. It's going to be nice. What I might do is zoom in on some regions, just recover my sketches on like what's there, just to make sure everything looks right. You can also just start by generating the continent layer. I think it was 6 when I did my calculations. Let me just make sure. I think it was, my division was at 6. No, that's not correct. It was 16. I think it was 6. It should be this. Yeah, it should be a 6. So boom. I'm gonna go back to Worldographer larger. And put that on top. So now we're able to see a larger, more detailed maps. So it scattered some areas, put some land in. Run slower at this scale also, because it's just a lot more detail. I have a lot running. Yeah, we're gonna go here, start pick and choosing, filling it up. So that's what we're gonna do. I might get some sketch work already set for that before we start doing it. So it'll be a mainly Worldographer section next time. And I just wanted to save that since we already did this work. Get this entire layer saved. But that's where we're gonna end it off today. Thank you for anyone that watched this, enjoyed it. I would again, the book I'm working with is the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons World Builder Guide. Get you down. Very good book by Richard Baker. It's getting blocked right now. It's for 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons. This is just good in general for world building. You can get it on Drive-Thru RPG for like $10. For just a PDF. Good work. Good copy. Good scan. You also get templates, which I'm not using. So if you want to do on paper, you don't have to use Worldographer. I'm implementing this with Worldographer because I want just a digital version from the get-go that I can always customize. So yeah, we're going to work on this. We're going to get on this region, make this look pretty. But other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. We will be back Friday for some 4 Fridays. We'll be doing some Maid Cafe in Electric Town. Saturday we'll be starting the story of Yasuke, also known as Assassin's Creed Shadows. I got some funny images for that. Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. We're gonna go on from there. So have a good one. See you next week. See you Friday. Bye bye.